Ino-note mo do'n, FMB o kaya AMP, amputated or finger missing at birth. Ngayon kapag sa computation na, anong value ang ilalagay mo do'n, 'di ba? Anong classification? So, hindi ka naman puwedeng manghula. So, kung ano yung nasa opposite finger or yung nasa kaliwang index finger na hindi putol or hindi nawawala, yun po yung ibibigay natin. Okay? Opposite finger, not the adjacent, not the near finger. Okay? So, ganyan din ang mangyayari kapagka amputated o kaya pagka fully scarred yung fingerprint. Halimbawa, fully scarred to the point na hindi mo na kayang i-identify yung pattern. Sirang-sira na yung fingerprint. 'Di ba? So, pwede mo nang gawin na yung opposite finger, yun din yung classification ng nawawalang finger. Okay? Or ng fully scarred na finger. So, next. So, it is about the two impressions, no? So, the smaller impression at the bottom of the card are taken simultaneously, printing all of the fingers of each hand and then the thumb without rolling. What is this called? Is it A, plain or plan? Sorry. Letter B, roll. Letter C, plain impression, or letter D, roll impression. So dito alam mo naman na kung ano yung i-eliminate mong choices, 'di ba? Letter A and letter B. So ang papamilian mo na lang dito si letter C and si letter D. But the question is asking about ano ba yung pinaka nasa baba ng fingerprint card na kung saan sabay-sabay yung mga daliri na ipini-fingerprinting. 'Di ba? Sabay-sabay na inilalapag dun or pine-press yung daliri. Without rolling, ayan pa, isa pa sa term, without rolling, nang hindi iniikot. So, very good, 'di ba? So, common sense lang, plain impression. Okay? Sa plain impression po, nasa babang side yan. Pagkatapos ni rolled impression na 10 boxes, bawat finger isa-isa, ayan, dun nyo na makikita si rolled impression. Nakahiwalay si thumb at sabay-sabay yung apat na daliri, index, middle ring, and little finger. Okay, nasa taas naman niya si rolled impression that is taken by means of rolling the finger. Pero may ruling pa din doon. Diba? Kapag thumb ang ating i-rolled impression towards the body. Kapag index to little finger towards away from the body. Palabas naman siya. Okay? So, kasama dapat lagi dito yung first joint ng finger natin. Hindi yung purong bigla mo lang, hindi yung purong dulo lang ng daliri natin. Ang kailangan pati yung sa unang guhit na yan ng daliri kasama sa plain and rolled impression. Okay? So, next natin. Ayan. So, if a whorl appears in the right thumb and right index, what is the primary classification? Ayan. So, sabi dito, whirl. Di ba sa primary, ang may value is whirl? Ngayon, anong classification, anong primary classification niya? Kapag yung whirl is nasa right thumb and nasa right index. Diba? So, anong number ba yung right thumb? That is number 1. Then, nasa denominator 2. 'Di ba? So, ano ba si right index? So, anong pares ba yon? 1, 2, 3, 4 na may 2 value. Tama ba? So, what is your answer? Madaming like? May pumuso? May pumalakpak? Kaya ang tamang sagot. Okay, the correct answer is 17/17. Okay, so parang, ayan, if the words appear the right thumb and right index, 'di ba? 17, since ang first pair natin is may numerical value na 16. Okay? So, bakit naman 16? 16 lang ang numerical value ng unang pair. Okay? Baka nakakalimutan natin, meron tayong pre-established factor na +1/1. Kaya siya naging 17/17. Okay? Kasi ang right thumb and right index, first pair po yan. Unang pares. Unang pares na pinakamalaki ang value. Okay? So, next one. Ito. In fingerprint primary classification, which pair of fingers includes both hands? So, anong pares ba dun yung magkasama yung kanan na kamay at kaliwang kamay? Okey, may pumapalakpak, pang-apat ba yun? Try niyong i-ganyan yung kamay niyo, try niyong pagpare-parisin. First pair, second, third, fourth, fifth. Alin ditong pares ang pinagsamang kanan at kaliwang kamay? Okey, very good. Letter C, the third pair. Okey? So, medyo malayo na kasi babalikan natin sana yung isa kanina. Pangatlo kasi natin 'di ba, unang pares natin, right thumb and right index. Pangalawang pares natin, right middle and right ring. At yung pangatlo natin, right little and left thumb. Yun po yung pinagsamang kanang kamay at kaliwang kamay. Okay? The third pair with the numerical value of 4. Okay? So, next. The number of ridges that intervene between the delta and core is known as what? Ay, dapat ito alam niyo 'to kasi na-discuss ko kanina. Palakpak, ridge count that intervenes, the number, palakpak, puso, okay. Siguro nalito kayo sa question. Kasi ang nakita niyo intervenes. 'Pag may nakita kayong intervenes, intervening ridge, okay? Intervening ridge. But tingnan niyo po itong word na 'to, the number. Alin ba dito ang may number? 'Di ba? Alin dito ang may number? Ridge tracing ba? Ridge trace ba or ridge count? Bakit ridge tracing? Yes, nagbibilang tayo sa ridge tracing. Anong tawag natin kapag nabilang na natin yung ridge tracing? That is ridge count. Okay? That is the number of ridges that intervenes between the delta and the core. Okay? Ang tawag lang natin sa ridges na yun is intervening ridge. But we do count it. 'Di ba? Kina-count natin yun. Kaya nga tayo nagkakaroon ng inner, outer, and meeting. Kasi binibilang natin yung intervening ridge or kina-count natin sila. Okay? So, huwag malilito kapag ganyang klase. Paulit-ulit basahin yung question bago magsagot. So, next. Where does the subsecondary fit into the classification formula? Is it A, right side of the primary, right side of the secondary, or left side? Okay, so sorry napakita ko yung sagot. Ayan. So ito kasi yan, 'di ba? Nasa extreme left si key, nasa extreme right si final classification. Tandaan niyo lagi yan. Minsan natatanong din siya. So sino ang nasa left side ni primary classification? That is major. 'Di ba? Nasa right side sa secondary and so on and so forth. 'Di ba? Yung mga ganong klase ng atake ng question ba? But the question is, where does the subsecondary fit into the classification? Nasa right side siya ni primary classification. Okay? Kasi wala naman diyan sa choices na left side ni subsecond. 'Di ba? Pero dun din natin siya matatagpuan. Si secondary is nasa left side ni subsecond and nasa right side ni subsecond pala, sorry. Subsecond pala yung question natin. Okay, so nasan si subsecondary? Of course, nasa right side siya ni secondary classification. Nasa left side naman siya ni final classification. So, ayan. So, tandaan lagi yung pagkakasunod-sunod, ano? KMPSSF, Kumapa sa SAFA, Key, Major, Primary, Secondary, Subsecond, and Final. Pero, okay, sa classification ganyan. Pero ang hinahanap natin diyan kapagka sa formula na yung gagamitin natin, una natin si primary, pangalawa si secondary, sumunod si subsecond, sumunod si major, final, and the last one is key classification. Okay? Pero kung isusulat mo na siya sa formula niya, sa fingerprint card, ganito na po yung pagkakasunod niya. Okay, mauuna si key na walang denominator, followed by major, primary, second, subsecond, and final. Okay, so next one. So these are the common type impressions. Print that cannot be seen by the naked eye. Print that cannot be seen by the naked eye. Is it a latent print, semi-patent, patent print, or semi-visible latent print? Okay, very good. Walang ibang sagot kung hindi puso. Okay, so that is correct. Pag sinabi kasi natin cannot be seen by the naked eye, that is the the invisible print, invisible or latent. Okay, kabaliktaran niya si patent, which is the visible print. Okay, itong mga latent print natin, these are subject for developing. Since hindi nga siya nakikita, kailangan mong gumawa ng way for it to become visible. Okay? Sa patent print naman natin, usually ito, halimbawa yung kandila, medyo nakaka 5 minutes nang nakapatay, so malambot-lambot na yun, hindi na masyadong mainit. Kapag pinrest mo yung top side ng kandila, kusang babagat yung daliri natin doon, even though wala tayong colored substance na ginamit. Diba? And that is semi-patent print. Hindi na po yan dinedevelop kasi nga visible na siya. Same as well kay patent. Si patent naman, purely, kung halimbawa ikaw humawak ka sa ink, sa dugo, tapos humawak ka sa isang surface, bumakat doon or nagkaroon ng impressions, yun yung tinatawag natin na patent or visible print. Okay? So those are different types of chance impressions. So the answer here is latent print. Next one, ACE-V. So many examiners in the USA now follow the so-called ACE-V. So ACE-V stands for what? Okay? Dapat wala ding mali dito. ACE-V, anong acronym nun? Okay, puro letter C. Tama ba si letter C? Okay, very good. The answer is analysis, comparison, evaluation, and verification. Ano nga po ba si ACE-V? So, discuss natin si ACE-V. Sa kay analysis po kasi, ang nangyayari dyan is that meron kang level na kailangang i-determine. Diba? Una, yung proportion ng pattern, yung interrelationship, and ng value to individualize. Kasi you need to analyze first bago ka mag-proceed sa comparison. Like for example na lang, check mo, magkamukha ba sila ng pattern? Pareho ba sila ng word? Kasi kung magkaiba yon, halimbawa yung standard mo at saka yung question, magkaiba, isang loop, isang word. So magpo-proceed ka pa ba sa comparison? Sa general characteristic pa lang, hindi na pasado. Diba? So yun yung mga kailangan natin tandaan. The sufficiency, if there is sufficient ground para mag-proceed ka sa next examination. Okay? Sa analysis, kino-consider din natin yung different ridge characteristics and poroscopy. Diba? And then, pagdating naman natin sa comparison, this is the proper examination na kung saan naman this is the proper examination or actual examination wherein dito natin dinedetermine yung discrepancies ng dalawang ridge impressions. Okay, halimbawa, may pareho silang bifurcation. Same ba ng position, same ba ng location, same ba ng kapal at itsura yung bifurcation na yun? So, iisa-isahin yun sa comparison. Okay? The actual examination or proper examination. So, halimbawa, natapos na si analysis, nalaman mo na okay, magkamukha sila ng pattern. Meron silang value to individualize. So, pwede na tayo mag-proceed kay comparison. Na kung saan kay comparison, magkakandak tayo ng examination proper. Diba? Titingnan natin lahat ng discrepancies. All the ranges will be compared to each other, especially the characteristics of it. And after that, kung na-compare mo na and napag-alaman mo na okay, medyo may similarity sila. Merong points, okay? Ang daming points na sila ay magkakamukha. Proceed ka na kay evaluation. Kay evaluation naman, anong ginagawa natin dito? Kay evaluation po natin, dito ka na dito mo na kailangan ng finding or ng conclusion. Diba? This is the findings, this is the conclusion of analysis and comparison. Siya si evaluation. Dapat may resulta ka na pagdating kay evaluation. Ano ba yung mga kailangan natin or pwede nating maging resulta? Una, identification. Pangalawa, non-identification. At pangatlo, inconclusive. Pag sinabi nating identification, the examiner found out that the question and its standard are much or the same. Okay? Kapag sinabi na nating non-identification, hindi siya nag-match. Magkaiba ng sources yung dalawang specimen. Kapag sinabi nating inconclusive, the examiner, okay, hindi niya malaman kung yun ba ay magkapareho, magkamukha, or magkaiba. Okay? No result, kumbaga. Hindi mo ma-identify. So that is evaluation. Ngayon, sabihin na natin na ang evaluation ng examiner is identification, nag-match. Proceed ka na ngayon sa verification. Anong gagawin natin sa verification? Okay? You will confirm or you will conduct a review doon sa result ng examiner, doon sa evaluation niya. Okay? Sino ang magbe-verify nun, ma'am? Sino ang magko-confirm? The 2 fingerprint senior examiner. Okay? 2 senior fingerprint examiner. Ma'am, paano pag magkaiba yung resulta ni examiner tsaka ni senior fingerprint examiner? Sino ang may mali doon? 'Di ba? Si examiner. 'Di ba? Kaya nga senior na yung mag-e-examine to verify the result. Kung meron bang disagreement between the result of the examiner and the result of the senior fingerprint examiner. Okay? So, yun yung po yung ACE-V natin. Pero kasi dito sa Pilipinas, iba yung tawag natin sa ACE-V. Ang tawag natin dito ay PEP-B. PEPV. Same lang naman sila kung anong ginagawa kay ACE-B. Pero ang tawag sa atin dito, yan, PEF-B. Preliminary Examination. Si letter E, Examination Report. Dito naman sa letter P, ano yung letter P natin? Preparation of the report. And letter B is verification. Again, preliminary examination, examination proper, and then preparation of result, or dito na yung evaluation natin. Dapat may resulta ka na. And the last one is verification. Yan po yung ginagamit natin dito sa Pilipinas, or yan yung ginagamit ng ating law enforcement. Diba? Kaya nga dito, USA yung ACE-V. Diba? And then dito sa Pilipinas, ang gamit natin is PEP-B. Same lang siya kung paano gawin si analysis, si comparison, and si evaluation and verification. Okay? So, malinaw po ba? Malinaw po ba ang lahat? Ayan, so konti na lang ang ating slides. Matatapos na tayo. So, okay, makinig lang. Thank you. So, next one. Ayan. So, ito na. I-apply nyo na lang yung ating diniscuss kanina. If you are now consulting with another expert to review, to confirm the identification or the evaluation, the result of the fingerprint, what phase of ACE-B method are you in? So, very good. Madami yung sumasagot ng palakpak, and that is letter B. Ayun na nga po, review, confirm, or you need to verify the result or the evaluation of the examiner. And that is verification. Peer review and confirmation. Yun po si verification. Okay, so next one. A fingerprint examiner is tasked with identifying the type of fingerprint pattern that contains 2 deltas and at least 1 ridge forming a complete circuit. Diba? Yan, meron ding circular or oval. So dito, dapat tama lahat. Bakit puso? Plain arch? 2 deltas ang sabi dito. Wala namang delta ang plain arch. 'Di ba? Wala din yung complete circuit. Sabi nga natin, si plain arch, walang angular formation. 'Di ba? Walang pabilog, walang pa-loop. So, paano magiging plain arch yung 2 deltas natin na merong complete circuit or circular or spiral pattern? Okay, very good. That is plain whirl. Okay? Plain whirl po ang sagot dyan. Central packet, wrong, kasi there's a small whirl inside the loop. And then, si double loop whirl, there must be a 2 distinct separate loops. Okay, may dalawang core at may dalawang delta C double loop whorl. Okay? So, sa mga sumagot ng plain arch dyan, magkape-kape muna kayo. Basahin niyo ulit yung elements ng plain arch. Walang angular formation, walang delta, okay? Walang recurve or what? Just Mia. Okay, next one. Ato. So what would Marijuana's classification if all of her fingers were amputated on both hands? Okay. So puso, 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 puso. Puso, 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 puso. Okay, so ano kaya ang sagot? Letter A. So bakit letter A? Tandaan po natin, amputated, 'di ba? Kapag amputated lahat, ano po ba ang ruling natin doon? Bibigyan natin siya ng classification of whorl with tracing, or we will give them a value of whorl with meeting tracing. Kaya ganyan yung sagot niya. M, that is the major classification. 32, that is the primary classification. W, that is the secondary. And then MMM, yung tatlo na yan, ang tawag natin dyan ay sub-secondary classification. Try nyo pong isolve. Okay? Try nyo isolve after this. Lahat is whorl. Diba? Kuhanin nyo si key, major, primary, second, sub-second, and final. Ganyan ang magiging sagot nyo. Wala si final at wala si key. Okay? Ang meron lang sa kanya, major, primary, second, and sub-second. Yun lang yung makukuha nyo. Okay? Tandaan, kapag amputated, both hands, kaya both fingers, ang ibibigay natin doon is value of whorl with meeting tracing. Tandaan yan, value of whorl with meeting tracing. Okay? So next. What method successfully detect the invisible amount of bloodstains fingerprint, such as fingerprint on kitchen knives and other blades used as a weapon? Ito, may involved na blood-stained fingerprints daw. Na kahit nasa kutsilyo, may mga dugo-dugo na, kaya mo pa ding i-detect yung ating fingerprint o yung fingerprint inside that. Anong chemicals ang gagamitin natin? So this is part of the chemical methods of developing latent print. Okay, so very good. Lahat ang sagot is TMB. And yes, TMB po yung ginagamit natin to detect the invisible amount of blood stain on the kitchen knives and any other bladed weapons. Okay, so sa aluminum powder, that is the white powder, ginagamit sa black surface. Si ninhydrin solution naman, ang ginagawa po kasi dito sa ninhydrin, this is one of the chemical method. Okay, sa ninhydrin solution kasi, okay, meron tayong chemicals which is the ninhydrin. Anong gagawin mo after that? Pwede mo kasing ibabad, halimbawa papel. Okay, may latent print doon. Ibabad mo doon yung papel. Okay, after that, kuhanin, and kailangan mo siyang painitan. It's either oven ang gagamitin mo, it's either blower na mainit, or ipatong mo siya sa plancha. Ganun po ginagawa si ninhydrin solution. Meron din naman, ini-spray lang, ganyan. So, yun yung mga chemical methods natin. And of course, meron tayong SPR, or the small particle reagent, na ginagamit naman to kapag ang isang evidence is immersed in water or nababad sa tubig. Diba? Halimbawa na lang, yung barrel, tinapon sa ilog or sa sapa. So, ang pwede natin gamiting chemical doon to develop the invisible print is SPR, or the small particle reagent. Okay, SPR. Ano po ba ang kulay na napoproduce pag SPR? Okay, so wala. Okay, next one. Ito, erase ko lang, sulat-sulat. Okay, so next question, fingerprint classification pa din tayo. Okay, so what will be the appropriate fingerprint classification when both fingers are fully scarred, making it impossible to determine the pattern and ridge tracing accurately? Okay, paano daw kapag putol, kaka-discuss lang natin. Paano kapag fully scarred, sirang-sira na hindi mo na ma-determine yung kung anong pattern ba siya or kung anong ridge characteristic na nandun sa loob. Anong gagawin? Okay, very good. We will give them a value of whirls with meeting tracing. Tandaan po yan lagi. Standard rule. Okay? So next. What adjustments would you make to fingerprinting techniques for individual with excessive perspiration? So ito naman, this is about the techniques in taking ink fingerprint. Okay, anong gagawin natin daw? Kapagka sobra na yung pamamawis ng daliri or ng kamay ng isang tao that is subject for fingerprinting. A, you will apply the extra ink to counteract the sweat. B, wipe the fingers using drying agent. C, press the fingers harder. Or letter D, use water-based ink. Okay, so very good. Letter B. Okay, kapag ganyang excessive perspiration, isa po ito sa temporary disabilities natin. Okay, temporary disabilities na sobrang pamamawis. So, punasan lang, gamitan ng drying agent. Ang drying agent na best na ginagamit natin is alcohol. 'Di ba? So, si letter A, sobrang malito. Apply extra ink. 'Di ba, namamawis na nga eh. So, bakit mo pa kailangan dagdagan ng ink? 'Di ba? So, dudulas lang ng lalo yun. Lalo naman dito sa letter C, kung ipe-press mo siya ng mas madiin, dudulas lang. Kaya lalo na kung glass slab yung gamit mo. Mag-smudge lang yun. And then use water base. Ayan. So, hindi na natin kailangan gumamit ng water base. Magpupurong black yung impressions. Wala kang makikitang ridges and furrows doon. Okay? So, yan po yung way natin. You need to wipe and use drying agent before fingerprinting. Okay, next one. Ito naman, so this is one of again of the temporary disabilities. Kung kanina sobrang pamamawis, ngayon naman, a suspect has a fresh cut on one of their fingers. What is the practice in this situation? A, take the fingerprint and then note that the injury in fingerprint. B, delay the taking of fingerprinting until the injury heals. C, use digital enhancement software to reconstruct. Or letter D, apply more ink to capture the fingerprint. Anong sagot? May puso, may light. Okay. Tandaan ito po sa ruling ng temporary disabilities natin. Kapag ang isang tao ay may fresh cut, bagong sugat, may hiwa or what, hindi mo siya dapat i-fingerprint. Okay? Hindi mo siya dapat i-fingerprint. Ang kailangan mong gawin is to wait until gumaling yung sugat. Okay? Kasi ang pangit naman kung ipi-fingerprint mo siyang ganyan tapos i-note mo na lang doon. Paano kung hindi na gumaling? Permanent destruction na yun. 'Di ba? Paano kung gumaling din? Mag-iiba naman din yung itsura niya. 'Di ba? So para hindi na paulit-ulit yung fingerprinting, antayin mo na lang na gumaling. Okay, bago mo siya i-fingerprint. So that is correct, letter B. Okay? So next. Ito. So while processing the crime scene, this is an application question. While processing the crime scene, Patrolman Rigor discovered. Anong na-discover niya? Latent print. Where? Sa sticky side of a tape. So, what method would be most applicable in developing the latent print? Is it amino black, small particle reagent, crystal violet, or ninhydrin? May puso, may puso-puso. Again, ang amino black po natin, saan natin siya ginagamit? Amino black. So, bago natin malaman yan, saan po ba ginagamit si amino black? Okay? So, iba-iba yung sagot. Iba-iba. Okay? Okay, discuss na natin. Sige. Sa amino black po kasi, tandaan, merong involved na blood dito. Okay? Sensitive kasi si amino black sa blood natin. That's why ginagamit siya sa mga contaminated or sa mga visible prints involving blood. Kasi nataturn niya yung blood into proteins. Tapos ang napoproduce nito is blue-black color. Okay? Si small to particle reagent naman, yan yung ginagamit natin kapag ang isang evidence is babad sa tubig. Diba? Immersed in water. Si ninhydrin naman, ang ginagamit natin to sa mga porous materials, sa mga absorbent like paper, like wood, or any absorbent materials. So meaning to say, the answer here is letter C. Okay, crystal violet po ang ginagamit natin doon kapagka sticky side of tape, 'di ba? Tama naman kasi, for example, ikaw nag-open ka ng tape, magka-cut ka, 'pag hinawakan mo 'yun, babakat yung print mo, tama ba? So, anong gagawin do'n sa tape? Ibababad 'yan. Si crystal violet kasi hinahalo 'yan sa tubig, ta's ibababad mo do'n yung tape. Ta's after that, kunin mo, hugasan mo, tapos do'n na lalabas yung, um impressions doon sa may adhesive tape na ang magiging kulay is purple color. Okay, kaya siya tinawag na crystal violet. Purple color yung kanyang resulta. Purple color yung makikita niyong impressions doon sa pinaka-tape. Okay? So next one, an examiner is comparing ACE-V minutiae using ACE-V. Ayun, apply niyo ulit yung kanina nating na-discuss, si ACE-V. So, it focuses on assessing the fingerprint's uniqueness, clarity, and quality. What phase of ACE-V method are there in? So, yung sagot na sa tanong na kapag ganitong klase. An examiner is comparing minutiae, the uniqueness, the clarity, and the quality. What is that? Okay, very good. Diyos mio. That is comparison. Okay? Sa comparison kasi this is the proper examination. Every details, diba? Every characteristic, it is being compared to each other. Okay, so that is comparison. Next one. Which fingerprint pattern can have 2 or 3 or 4 deltas unlike the other whorl patterns? So, naulit lang ito So, very good. That is plain or that is accidental whorl. A conglomeration, a composite pattern, or a combination of two different patterns na pwedeng magkaroon ng 2, 3, 4, and so on na deltas. Next, what is the primary focus of ordinary method of fingerprint comparison? Is it A, Osborne po Osborne tayo. Is it A, measuring the size or the complete size of the fingerprint, B, marking the points of identity between the latent and the standard, C, dividing fingerprint into squares and analysis, or letter D, tracing the fingerprint side by side in both hands? So what is your answer? A, B, C, D. Ordinary daw, ordinary. Paano ba tayo mag-compare? Ordinarily. Okay, so the answer here is letter B. Kanya naman tayo, di ba? That is the ordinary method. Ima-mark mo lang yung points. Di ba? By marking. Ito yung standard mo, ito yung question. I-mark-mark mo lang yan. Di ba? So, yun yung ordinary. Pero sa ordinary method natin, meron tayong tatlong klase. Okay? Which will be discussed sa following questions. Okay? So, ito kasing measuring the complete size of the friction ridges, kasama din po yan. Si dividing the fingerprint into squares, anong tawag dyan? Osborne method po ito. And then tracing the fingerprint side by side, hindi po natin to ginagawa na nagte-trace mismo, na nasa kamay yung fingerprint. Okay? Kailangan mo muna i-fingerprinting bago mo i-process, i-compare. So, next question. So, ayan po si ordinary. Okay? Simply just like that. Compare. Pero may specific tawag po tayo dito. Kasi sa ordinary method, marking only the points of identity. Okay? And meron tatlong klase. Maglalagay ka ng numbers, maglalagay ka ng letters, or idodrawing mo. Okay? So this is an example. Okay, wala pa pala. So another question muna tayo. What is the size of the photographs used in Osborne method? Okay? So lahat, karamihan ng sagot natin ay like. Okay, very good. Ang size po sa Osborne method is 8 by 10. Ano ba ang ginagawa natin sa Osborne method? Diba? Sa Osborne method kasi, kailangan meron tayong 2 enlarged photographs na mayroong size na 8 by 10 inches. And after that, i-divide mo na yon into square. Okay, square to square yan. Tapos each square, yun yung i-aano mo, yun yung iko-compare mo each. Okay? Halimbawa, first square dito sa standard, first square dito sa question. That is the Osborne method. Okay? So next. Ito naman, Seymour method. So, methods in comparing pa din tayo. So, what is the first step in comparing fingerprints? Is it A, pricking the identical points, enlarging the same photographs, creating a skeleton, or D, drawing a circle around the ridge characteristics? Okay, so madami ang, ano bang madaming sagot? May A, merong C, merong B. Okay, Seymour method. Okay, so una po natin gagawin sa Seymour method, yung tinatawag na skeleton. You will first make a skeleton. Okay? Skeleton ng standard ng suspect and ng question prints. Doon ka na magko-compare. Anong gagawin? You will place them together. Okay? Itapat mo sila sa reflector or sa projector and then you will make the necessary identification of each ridge characteristics. Kung sila ba ay magkamukha or hindi. Okay? Sa pricking method naman natin na to, ang gamit naman natin dito is needle, karayom. Anong gagawin? You will place the photograph of the standard over the chance impression. Pagpapatungin mo. Halimbawa, 'di ba? Nakaibabaw doon si standard, nasa likod si question. O pag tinusok mo yung core ni standard, dapat ganun din yung matutusok kay question. Okay, that is the pricking method with the use of needle. Okay, kailangan kasi mag-coincide sila with one another. Tandaan niyo yung word na coincide, pricking method po yun. Okay? Ito namang letter B, enlarging the photograph to the same size is isa po yan sa simple method. Okay, na kung saan i-enlarge natin yung question then standard fingerprint at the same size. And then we will now identify the points by drawing the red line. Okay, red line po yung ginagamit doon, tapos number ang ilalagay. Okay, number. Sa simple method po natin, mag-iisimula kayo sa core or sa delta. Diba? Nagsimula ka sa core. Diba? Followed by next characteristic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Clockwise manner po lagi yung comparison natin. Paano yung clockwise? Pag ganito po. Ayan, magsisimula dito. Yan, pag ganyan. Kasi pag counterclockwise, pabaliktad na yon. Okay? So, yung comparison way po natin. Okay, another. Ito yung example nila. Yan si simple method. Diba? Simple method, magdodrawing lang ng red line and then magsisimula tayo kay focal points. Pwedeng kay core, pwedeng kay delta. But dito sa example natin, nagsimula sa core. Ayan, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hanggang mapunta kay delta. Diba? Clockwise manner po siya pag ganun. Ayan. So, ma'am, bakit 10 lang? Di ba 10 lang naman ang points na tinatanggap din dito sa Pilipinas for the evidence to be admissible in court. Ayan, clockwise din siya. So, yan yung simple method. Numbers po yung nilalagay. And ito naman yung isa, sa modify, instead of numbers, letters po yung nilalagay dyan. Letter ng ano, ma'am? Halimbawa ito, ano bang nakaturo dito? Diba, this is a core. So, drawing ka ng red line and then letter C. Ito naman, E, that is eyelet. B, that is bifurcation. Diba? D, that is delta. Yun po yung modified method. Instead of number, yung initial letter po ng core na ridge na itinuturo, yun po yung ilalagay natin. Kaya nga modified. Okay? So, ito naman yung fingerprint chart kapag drawn method po yung ginamit natin. Instead of letters, instead of numbers, kung alimbawa ito core, i-drawing mo din dito kung yung core, 'di ba? Anong size ng Anong size ng circle, ma'am? 1 inch in diameter. Yung drawn, yung circle dapat. Okay? 1 inch in diameter. So, i-drawing mo yun. May nakita kang bifurcation, o drawing mo dito bifurcation, may nakita kang eyelet, drawing, short ridge, dot, ido-drawing mo lang siya instead of assigning numbers or letters. Okay, so sa next natin, ayan, I think this is the last slide na. So, in fingerprint classification, if the right middle finger has an ulnar loop, what do you write in the top row numerator of the formula next to the letter for the right index? So, blocking po yung topic natin dito as about blockings. Okay? Nasa blockings po, tandaan, wala na kayong halimbawa, plain word, wala na kayong makikitang ganong word or term. Ang makikita nyo na lang po sa blockings is symbol. But ang tinatanong po natin dito is anong symbol or anong ilalagay natin kapag nakakita ka ng, ulnar loop? A, U, B, ayan, C, dash, D, diagonal line ulit. Okay, ito pa yung isa sa kailangan niyong malaman. Sa blocking po, pagdating sa ulnar loop and radial loop, wala na po kayong makikitang letter U at letter R. Ang makikita niyo na lang po ganito, oh, ganyan or ganyan. Okay, wala na kayong makikitang UR. Ang may letter na lang dun is yung mga arch, tented at whirl. Pero pagdating sa loop, ganito na lang ang makikita natin. Ayan. So ano dyan si ulnar loop? Right middle ang tinatawag dyan. Right middle daw po. So anong pattern si right middle dyan? Hmm? Merong C, may C pa? Diyos mio, dash ang C. Okay, may palakpak, may like, alin kaya dito? Tandaan, right finger ang tinutukoy natin, middle. Ano ba ang itsura nun? Saan ba siya magpo-flow? The direction of the right of the thumb? Ayan, ito, pa-direction to ng thumb or pa-direction ng little? What is the answer? Oh, may nagla-like pa din kahit dinrowing ko na 'to. So, anong sagot natin? Right little, right middle, finger. 'Di ba? Ito, towards the direction of the little finger ito. 'Di ba? Ito naman towards the direction of the thumb. So, anong sagot natin? Okay. So, very good. The answer is letter D. Eto na nga, oh, pa-slash na pa gano'n. Okay, nagfo-flow siya sa little finger. Yan na po kasi yung makikita natin sa blockings. Hindi mo na makikita yung U for ulnar. Minsan for ano lang natin yon for presentation para mas madaling maintindihan. Pero hindi na natin makikita si R and U pagdating sa blockings. Diagonal lang, diagonal lang, diagonal line lang siya lagi. Okay? So, yun yung ating blockings pagdating sa ulnar loop and sa radial loop. Pero yung whirl, pero yung arch, kung ano yung symbol nila, yun pa din naman yung makikita. Okay? So, next natin, ayan. So, tapos na po. So, sabi nga dyan, thank you. Okay, congratulations in advance and good luck on your examination. Again, salamat po for attending our 2-hour typing session. No? Thank you for sharing your time and your answer. So, good luck po sa exam ninyo. And then, mag-review lang po again, basahin muna yung question ng maayos bago magsagot, huwag magmadaling magsagot. Okay? So, yun lang po and thank you for attending again and good luck po.